Nazamil was right here. Maybe we can... it's no good. There are too many people.
What did she mean by be patient? And why appear now of all times?
We spent so long searching for her. Was she actually watching us the whole time?
Please forgive me for summoning you all. I was hoping I could ask you to deliver a personal correspondence to Sisluden.
A delivery? Isn't that a job for the Service Corps?
Usually, yes. Truth be told, they aren't too fond of the Corps over there as of late.
Really? The letter is for Bregan of the Silver Swords, right? I can't see him being upset about it.
He isn't the issue. It's the citizens of Sisluden. They're not just wary of Renans, but Danans too.
Makes sense. It is Cyslodia after all.
I see. And you've come to us because you think no one would risk interfering with us. Is that it?
Yes. Of course, I don't think such a task would require all of you to carry it out.
What do you want to do? It's possible Nazamil will come back here.
Judging by that interaction, I don't think we'll see her again. Until she's ready. In which case, it's meaningless to continue searching for her. I think we should stay together so we're not apart when she returns.
But...
What Dohalim says makes sense. Besides, we've been trying to find Nazamil for a while. It would be good for you to focus on other things for a bit.
Yeah. Alright then. We'll make the trip to Sisluden.
Thank you so much. Here is the letter.
Oh, Hootle! What? Did Hootle do something?
Oh no, it's fine. I was just surprised to see him appear out of nowhere. I'm sorry for worrying you.
Shion, do you still have some of your anxieties from when you had your thorns?
Yeah, I guess. Sometimes I still panic when someone approaches me too suddenly. You know what they say about old habits dying hard.
Right. That must be difficult.
But overall, I've gotten pretty used to physical contact with others. It makes me happy more than anything.
The joy of human contact. Hearing that from you of all people makes it sound all the more wonderful.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And also, I think it's easy to forget as you grow older, but just the warmth of another can be really comforting. It's cold in Cyslodia, but when I hug Hootle tight, it warms me right to the soul.
I remember how, whenever I was feeling anxious or when times were hard, my brother would silently rub my back. The warmth of his hand told me that everything was going to be all right. It was reassuring.
Yeah, it's a way of communicating without words, isn't it?
I've still only experienced that a few times, but I think I understand.
Well, for what it's worth, you're always welcome to hug me, or even just lean on me, whenever you want. You too, Rinwell.
Yeah, and the same goes for the two of you with me. You too, Hootle. Look, Shion, Kisara's waiting for us with open arms.
Really? Now? Well, all right then. I guess it'll help me get more comfortable with this sort of thing. Thank you. Both of you.
Hey, you there. I knew I recognized you.
You're that...
Shh, not so loud.
What's wrong? The days of being monitored are long over.
Oh, come on. You didn't forget I used to be an informant, did you? Revenge and vigilante justice are officially prohibited, but still. Anyway, that's not why I'm here.
What? Is something the matter?
Yeah, a pal of mine left town and I haven't heard from him since. It's been 3 whole days.
Why not ask the Silver Swords? They should listen, regardless of your past.
You think I'd be suffering in silence if it were that easy?
Is there more to the story?
You ask for help, then clam up. Not exactly what I'd call trustworthy.
Please, you're the only ones I can turn to.
Maybe we should help him out.
Law?
So, this guy's really a friend of yours?
Yeah, I'm not lying.
All right. Look.
Someone's there!
It's a Renan, and he appears to be injured.
Thanks a lot. I went to gather herbs, but I got injured and couldn't move.
Say, you don't happen to have a Danon friend, do you?
Why do you ask?
So he's the one.
I knew it. Your friend asked us to find you.
He did?
He must have been worried about you. Can you—
No. I can't go to Cisloden. They kicked out all the Renans. I'm going back to my hideout in the mountains. Tell him thanks.
I think it's safe to rest here now.
Wow, this place hasn't changed a bit. Is it just me, or does the mood here seem a bit tense?
What? You say the king and queen are arguing?
Maybe we could do something about it. It'd feel wrong to just ignore them.
You mean help them make up? Okay, but how?
Well, I don't know. We could try figuring out the reason why they're fighting. It would be a start, at least.
Right. If only we had some sort of clue as to what could have caused it.
What's that right there? It looks like some sort of nutshell? Is this what they've been fighting over?
You ate this nut? Without telling me?
No, I would never.
There they go again.
Ah, deduction through reenactment. Clever.
Since this is here, someone ate it, and you and I are the only ones around. But I certainly didn't eat it. Ergo,
Neither did I. Do you mean to accuse me of nut hoggery? If I am blessed with a nut, I share it with you. No nut is sweeter than one savored with my dear.
don't you think I feel the same?
How long is this gonna go on for?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
If neither of them ate the nut, isn't it possible that another owl left it behind?
Should that be the case, this spat would be an unfounded one.
Hold up. The real question is, was that reenactment even right in the first place?
Well, the mood does seem a bit lighter now. Don't you think?
Case closed then.
Is it, though?
Let's just leave it at that.
We found your
I see. That's good to hear. Now that you've met him, you know why I had to turn to you.
And may we ask how you know each other?
When people found out I was an informant, things got nasty. I fled town, which would have been fine, but it was too cold.
And that's when he saved you?
At first I was suspicious, but I can tell when someone's fishy or not. And I knew he was sincere about helping me.
Why does he keep living in those snowy mountains instead of moving to one of the other?
He says he loves the Cislodian Mountains. Can you believe it? A year ago when the skies were clear, he said he was simply stunned. Couldn't believe how beautiful it was. He's a good guy, interesting to talk to, and he knows a lot. In return, I get him what he needs to survive.
Sounds like a nice relationship.
I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna get moving before we draw attention. Thanks, you helped a lot.
Cyslodia looks the same as ever, but perhaps it actually has changed.
It bothers you, doesn't it? Being called a hero.
No.
Since we came all the way to Cyslodia, why not check out Calaglia too?
Calaglia? I mean, I guess it's not far.
We're not going to be able to find her now. She'll come to us when she wants to, so it doesn't matter where we are.
Well, I don't mind. But what about you?
Let's go. It's better than spinning our wheels here.
Okay.
Huh?
What's the matter, Law?
It's just weird how quiet it is.
Are you sure? Isn't this how it normally is?
Usually there's a little more going on, like building and repairing houses and stuff. But there's none of that.
Now that you mention it, you're right. Did they halt the repairs or something?
Well, if it isn't the Blazing Sword, and Law too!
Just call me Alphen.
But that's no way to speak to our hero and savior!
Hey, what's going on? It looks like the construction's on hold.
It is! Is that why you're here?
No, I was just wondering. Mind explaining?
You know how the Crimson Crows are in charge of reconstruction? Well, they've been busy lately. Which means the repairs on my house are taking forever. My family's tired of waiting so long. We could make some progress if we at least had materials, but those damn Zeugles.
So you want us to do something about that?
Yes! You can find what we need in the Iglia Wastes. Should be a cakewalk for a hero, right?
Talk about getting carried away. Sheesh.
I guess this is what heroes do now.
Alphen.
Still, we can't ignore this. Come on.
Everything we need is here.
Hopefully this will help the reconstruction start again.
You're lost in your thoughts again.
It was probably the Blazing Sword they needed. Not me.
People who know you see you.
We all have a hard time with the discrepancy between our true self and the impression others have of us. But I doubt such knowledge will help you feel any better right now.
Hey, why don't we go back to Ulzebek? There's no point in staying here anyway.
Right. Let's go.
Back, are ya? How did it go?
Not bad. That should be all taken care of.
Oh, wow, that's great! I knew I could count on the Blazing Sword. Thank you, I really appreciate it.
The Blazing Sword until the bitter end, huh? I wonder what he would have done if I'd turned him down.
Well, I guess he probably would have been disappointed that you couldn't help him.
But I can't help everyone. It's like I'm doomed to fail them. Sometimes I think Volron was right. Is this my only choice? Drop everything every time someone needs help? Is that even me anymore? I talk to Nazimir like I'm some sort of role model. But look at me. What future?
Alphen.
I knew it would be like this if I came to the city. Why did I agree to come?
Alphen. Why did you save me? Was it just because you were a hero?
No, of course not. That's not it. I just...
You chose to fight because you had a reason, right? Regardless of what that reason may have been. Don't forget that you have friends. That there are people who can help guide you. That's part of the reason why I wanted you to come here with me. It's because I wanted to help remind you of that fact. From what I remember, there should be someone in this city who can help you in ways that the rest of us can't.
The Crimson Crows? No, not them. Doc. Right. Doc. You're looking good, Doc.
You aren't looking too good yourself, though. I've been wondering when you'd show up. So, what is it? I don't know what you're struggling with, but just spit it out. That's the reason you've come here, isn't it?
I can't keep any secrets from you, can I? So, the truth is...
I see. So everyone comes to you asking for your help.
I don't mind being relied on. I mean, I'm happy to help. It's just that...
They take it for granted because you're a hero. That must be tough. I don't blame you.
I just don't understand. Renans hate me without question, while Dahnans call me a hero. Who in the world am I?
We spent such a long time as slaves. In some ways, I suppose we're still trying to get free. Listen, Alphen, how many hands do you have?
Hands? Well, I have 2.
And how many things can you hold at once with those 2 hands?
Oh.
You think the blazing sword can hold hundreds or thousands of things at once just because he's a hero? Nonsense.
Well,
all they see is the legend. They can't tell the difference between Alphen the person and Alphen the blazing sword. That's your real problem, isn't it? So you need to tell them. Remind them that you only have 2 hands.
Are you saying I should abandon people even when they're asking for my help?
Not at all. You want to help everyone. That's a great mindset, and there's nothing wrong with it. However, in order for you to meet everyone's needs, you would have to grow 1,000 hands. No, even 1,000 wouldn't be enough. You'd still miss something, and the people would still complain. All you can do is choose what's important to you. What will you do with just those 2 hands of yours? You are the one who decides, Alphen. Not the people, not the blazing sword, but you.
I decide. I decide for myself. I do.
What's going on?
I don't know, but it's gotta be something big. That's the blazing sword, you know.
Everyone, listen. I once fought with my friends against the Renan Lords. I did so because I thought it was the way to save everyone. I always thought that I had an obligation to fight, to help those unable to fend for themselves. But I realized I was wrong. I can certainly fight to some extent, but I'm still just a human. I'm not a god or a hero.
What are you saying?
No way! You mean you're not going to help us anymore?
That's not what I'm saying. I want to do all I can. But not because I'm some hero. Not because anyone told me to. I want to do it because I choose to. Even so, there's a limit to what I can do. And that's why...
You're saying you'll be a hero who helps when you're truly needed.
Nath,
When Zephyr died, we foisted that responsibility entirely on you, rather than sharing the burden. Eventually, you'll be gone, just like Zephyr. Everyone dies in the end, whether they are a hero or not. We need to learn to fend for ourselves and not rely entirely on you, or on any individual for that matter. Am I right?
Right, exactly. I believe that is the path to real, lasting freedom. For all of us. But each and every one of you will need to work together. I'm asking for your help.
You heard him. The time for depending completely on others is over. From here on out, we have to find ways to do whatever we can on our own. As long as we work together, I'm sure we'll be fine. Go ahead and leave the rest to us. You focus on yourself. I'm sorry for burdening you with so much up until now.
Thanks.
Feeling better?
Yeah, I guess in the end, it seems I was bound by the word hero myself.
You freaked me out when you suddenly decided to talk to everyone on your own like that.
Those who depend entirely on others cannot truly call themselves free. A good lesson that we all should keep in mind.
The people here will eventually understand. I really believe that.
If everyone can learn to truly think and decide for themselves, I think they'll start seeing a lot of things differently. And hopefully, one day, they'll realize that the differences between Dahnans and Renans don't matter at all.
So then, now that you've decided to follow your heart, what do you want to do next, Alphen?
I want to find Nazamil. I'm not sure what she's going through, but I can't help but feel like she needs us. But first, I want to go to Niez.
Niez?
I want to speak to the people in different cities like I did in Olzebek. I'll start with Niez. I'll start sowing the seeds in every town, so that maybe, one day...
That's quite an undertaking. Difficult for a hero, let alone one man.
Well, I guess we'll just have to lend him a hand then, won't we?
Niez it is then.
Unlike Ulzebek, both Dahnans and Renans live in Niez. How do you plan to start?
Good question. Do you think we should talk to people separately or together?
Separately would raise questions. I believe at the same time is better.
We've got all the ingredients Gordino asked for.
Time to make our delivery.
I hope Cole's dream comes true.
I do too. By the way...
Yes?
I don't think we'll have enough donuts for tomorrow.
The Crimson Crows are so cool! I want to join myself someday.
Nice. I'm sure you'll make it in. When you do, I'll be right there with you.
How mature of you to be thinking about the future already.
The Crimson Crows isn't just it, though. There are a whole lot of other things I want to do, too.
Like what?
I want to go out and travel all around the world, like you guys.
That's great. Traveling's a blast.
Also, I still want to make something and sell it to people. I haven't forgotten my promise, Xion.
I'm looking forward to you making something tasty.
Have you ever thought of coming to Vicint to study? It could be an opportunity to learn about both traveling and sales.
Studying, huh? I've never done anything like that before. It sounds hard, but maybe I'll give it a try. I'll have to be brave to make life better for everyone here. Like when Alphen broke down that wall.
That is laudable insight to have at your age.
You should know, though, that balancing that with the Crimson Crows will be no easy feat.
What if you put together a new group? It could be your very own crew. Traveling the world, doing business.
Whoa, that sounds amazing! Okay, and we're gonna be called the Awesome Fearless Dreamers!
Ooh, I like it. A name like that just screams courage.
Don't you think it's a bit long? Well, I suppose it gets the idea across.
Hey, you're still hanging out at the library, right? Anything interesting happen lately?
Anything interesting? Well, I have found plenty of interesting new books to read.
Yeah? Like what?
Books on horticulture, culinary techniques, things like that. Recently, I've been diving into some new topics. I've gotten to know some of the other people at the library, and they've been recommending all sorts of new books for me to try.
So they're, like, book buddies, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Any book I choose for myself is going to be colored by my own preferences, so it helps to have some outside opinions. I'm broadening my horizons.
Yeah, great. Just don't spend too much time reading. It's not healthy.
Excuse me? You're the one who brought up the library. You just wanted to say that?
No, just... never mind.
Oh. Could it maybe be that you're lonely?
Huh? As if!
There's nothing wrong with that. I feel lonely sometimes too, being away from you guys. I think it's normal for friends to miss each other. But no matter how much I wonder what you're all doing out there, it's not like I can just pop over and see you.
Yeah, kinda hard to do that when we live in different realms.
But still, it's nice that we get to hang out from time to time, like now. Even if it is, you know, in the name of necessity. I'm always looking forward to seeing you all again, and that helps give me strength when I'm alone.
I've been looking forward to seeing you all again, too. I didn't realize we both felt the same way. All right, I'm gonna work my butt off when I get back to the Crimson Crows. I've got to be able to keep up with you, after all.
Just don't go overboard and get yourself injured.
It'll be fine. I'm far too tough to get injured that easily.
See? It's exactly that kind of attitude that I'm worried about. Ugh.
Got your face stuck in a book as usual, huh? What kind of stuff do you read, anyway?
All sorts of things. Ancient accounts, histories. Just recently, I was reading a book about astral arts.
So what's the point? Does this, like, make your astral arts stronger?
No. I just read because I like to learn. Though, it is also helpful for my research.
Research?
Mm-hmm. For example, I'm looking into whether it's possible to combine Danan magic with Renan astral arts. I'm also interested in the mausoleums and Dana's past.
Okay. I'll admit, I'm not totally following. But, is there a purpose to this research? Like a goal?
A purpose? Well, I guess there is something I'd like to try someday. I want to try writing my own book, instead of just reading what others have written.
This is the first I'm hearing of it. What kind of book do you want to write?
I have several ideas I've been thinking about, but most of all, I'd like to write about Danan magic. Leave as much of my knowledge behind as possible, you know? And also, if there are any other Danans out there who can use magic, like me, maybe that book could help me find them.
Wow, you've really thought this through. You're amazing, you know that?
What's gotten into you? I'll have you know that flattery won't get you anywhere.
Law is correct. All the knowledge you've gained on Danan Magecraft would be lost if not made manifest. That book would serve as a guiding light to scholars for generations to come.
You're gonna embarrass me if you keep talking like that. It's no big deal. I just like to study, that's all.
I know what you mean. Whether books or art, there is an indescribable, fragrant allure to those things that have traversed the ages.
Yeah. Who doesn't like the smell of old books?
Yeah, totally. They do smell, yummy, don't they?
What? La, please don't eat my books.
Hurry it up, Elfin! Hey, you too, Lord Man!
Haste makes waste, young one.
Oh, don't even start with me on that. Come on, we're keeping everyone waiting.
He's right. Shion and Rinwell must be getting impatient with us, too.
I don't believe that's the case. Look, they seem to be enjoying themselves.
It feels so comforting to just sit quietly side by side, next to each other. And being able to follow through with something you've set your mind to like that. It's dependable, you know?
Wow, you really have a soft spot for that sort of thing, don't you?
Are they talking about...
Yeesh. Kinda awkward if we butted in now, right, Alphen?
Not at all. We should say something.
No. It would be rude of us to interrupt. Let us assess the situation and choose the time to make our entrance with propriety.
You mean eavesdrop?
Personally, I really like those light, nimble movements. There's a graceful fluidity to them. And the strike that comes afterwards, it's always so cool, no matter which way you look at it.
Strike? Hold up.
For me, it's the poise I'm fond of. That dignified demeanor never seems to falter, all while staying alert and being receptive to even the most subtle shift in sounds.
Sounds.
I know. And those big, beautiful, thoughtful eyes. I keep finding myself inadvertently gazing into them.
Big, beautiful, and thoughtful?
She's right. Alphen does have beautiful eyes.
But if anyone has thoughtful eyes, it's Dohalim.
But surely Big Eyes refers to Law?
I can't wait to see Zare again.
The cat! When I see you speaking with other Renans, they always look so happy. It's made me realize just how many people depend on you, Dohalim.
I'm glad to be able to help, but I do feel it goes a bit too far sometimes.
You can say that again. Apparently there are even some who want you to be the new ruler of the Renan people.
I suspect their minds are still trapped in the Renan mentality that the strong have an inherent right to rule and should be followed. Unfortunately for them, the reign they envision was but a fantasy, even in the old days. Going forward, they will need to face reality.
Yeah, reality with no more lords or sovereigns.
Though there are still those enthralled by my title of former lord. I hope to see the day when they, too, can stand on their own two legs.
That said, I don't think people place their faith in you just because you were once a lord. I kept it from you so as not to burden you further, but there have been quite a few requests for you in Vicent as well.
Is that so? For what, pray tell?
Some want you to pass on your extensive knowledge by becoming a school teacher. Others say they want you to help them learn to appreciate music. And, as a request for the elegant and handsome Dohalim, there were even some who wished to be your lover.
Well, that's a scary voice.
Sounds less like people want things from him, and more like they just want him. I wish people talked about me like that.
There he goes, talking like an idiot again.
When it comes to children, they all want you to be their father. Sing them songs, read them stories, that sort of thing. It's actually rather sweet.
I see. Not all things people desire of me are quite so vapid, I suppose.
Yes. As a side note, I should mention that most of these requests happen to come from women. It must be wonderful to be so popular,
Kisara, why are you staring at me with a gaze like the coldest winter?
In the end, it sounds like wherever Dohalim goes, he leaves a string of hearts in his wake.
I certainly do no such thing.
Wow, Kisara, I'm amazed you know how to weave grass like that. You said you learned it from Miguel, right? It sounds like he really did teach you everything.
Yes. Just like that girl's mother. He used to weave grass into bracelets and necklaces for me back when we were kids.
Kisara?
Sorry, it's just... It occurred to me that something he taught me to make me smile is now bringing a smile to someone else's face. I know that I could never be as great as my brother.
You were the one who decided to fix the bracelet and find the girl.
Dohalim.
Miguel's dream is still alive thanks to you.
You're right. Thanks to meeting all of you, I can say my dreams are no longer just dreams.
Exactly. I couldn't even hope to count all the times I've been saved by your shield.
Yeah, Kisara. I can even do some housework now because you taught me.
You've always been a really good listener when I've got something on my mind.
And that one time I stained my clothes during a meal, I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been there to help.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. It sounds like I've been helping all of you more than I realized. The ideals imparted to us can still be made a reality, but only by those who are alive now, in the present. I chose that path. There's still a long way to go, but for some reason, I feel radiant right now.
Oh? How very curious. Walking next to you, I feel the same way.
Masks?
They left. What was that all about?
It sure doesn't seem like any sort of festival. I've got a very bad feeling about this.
The way they didn't seem to be listening to anything brings back some bad memories, huh?
What we saw at Volron's castle. You're right. Just what's going on?
And those masks.
Yeah. They look just like the iron mask I once wore.
We should find someone who can fill us in.
They're all wearing masks.
They aren't responding to anything we say. What's going on?
Maybe we can find someone without a mask. They're all wearing the same masks. Even the Renans. Hey, can you hear me? It's useless. What's going on? Do these come off?
Removing them should be our last resort. If the masks caused this, who knows what happens if we take them off?
They don't look hurt, but they're so silent. It's creepy.
Neither Danon or Renan is fine. Isn't there anyone here without a mask?
Maybe they've taken shelter somewhere. Let's have a look around.
Who is it? Bayfun? You're safe. What's happening? What was wrong with those people out front?
Well. A while back, some very odd folks showed up in town. They were all wearing masks, but there were both Renans and Danons among them. But that wasn't the weirdest part of the whole thing. Who do you think was leading them?
I don't know. Who?
Nazamil.
What do you mean? How could Nazamil be leading them?
It's exactly as I said. Only one person was wearing a different mask than the others, and it was her, no doubt about it. They called themselves Cal Basil.
The one path.
They said they had come to bring peace. However, their methods made that very hard to believe. They started putting those masks on all the people here, and you saw what happened to them after that.
You mean you couldn't stop them? What happened? Where were the Darkwings?
Nazamil was using some astral art. It was nearly impossible to resist her.
I see. But you managed to slip away and hide here.
What is Nazamil up to? Turning people into her puppets with those masks.
They say they bring peace. And I guess technically, they can't fight if they're all being controlled like that.
Nazamil told us to be patient a little longer, didn't she?
Whatever is going to happen, it must be imminent. Do you know where they were headed?
Shinefall Woods, in Ganeth Harrows. I know it's odd, but when someone asked where they came from, that's where they said their base is.
They're not even trying to hide? Could it be some kind of trap?
We'll just have to go and find out. I see no other options.
Phase 1's coming along well. Soon, Phase 2 will come. Everything is going perfectly. Just you wait.
I'm hungry! So hungry! I could eat a whole horse by myself!
I bet. Speaking of dinner, I think it's Shion's turn to cook tonight, right?
I believe so. Let's ask if she can get started sooner rather than later. If for no other reason than to settle Law down.
What? Something wrong?
Hush. They sound quite excited about something.
From what I've heard, a lot of people have been copying Kagari and Notio's wedding ceremony from last year.
Yeah, it's a traditional Renin ceremony, but ever since they got married, it's gotten super popular, even among Danon couples.
The whole thing was just so lovely. It was my first time attending a wedding, but I can definitely see the appeal.
Lovely, yeah. Oh, and all the food they served was delicious too.
I know, there was so much food, but everything they served was carefully chosen. And you could taste the care put into every bite. And the flowers. The arrangement they chose for Kagari's bouquet was a perfect fit for her. Also, during the banquet after the ceremony, Kagari and Notio were telling me the whole story about how they found their new house. They said it was okay if it was simple and bare bones. They just wanted a warm place where they could spend their days together. I want that too. A joyous ceremony for a loving couple starting a new life together. I guess dreams really can come true. It was a perfect day.
Sounds like someone may have been taking notes.
No, it's not like that. Anyway, Kisara, how about you?
Me? Well, I certainly don't think marriage is the most important thing in life. That said, I'll admit having a wedding ceremony does seem nice.
Really? It sounds like you both feel the same way then. Oh, speaking of which, Kisara, do you remember what you said at Kagari and Notio's ceremony? About the bouquet toss?
You mean how if you can't catch a bouquet, you'll end up always being single and alone? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. As it turns out, that isn't true at all.
What? It isn't?
Apparently not. I actually just found out recently myself. I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have mentioned it without checking first.
This is quite an interesting conversation, in more ways than one.
Seriously? Who cares about weddings and all that kind of stuff? Let's go already, I'm starving!
If we must. Personally, I feel it's rather boorish of you to spoil their fun.
Hey, you guys talking about weddings?
Oh, you three are finally back. Yeah, it turns out weddings are all the rage these days.
I have heard the same. There is no denying that Notio and Kagari's ceremony was a delightful occasion, filled with warmth and understanding.
That's for sure. Even after the ceremony was over, Shion just kept going on and on about how nice it had been.
I don't know about that.
Really? I guess I never realized.
Law must be misremembering, that's all. Anyway, I've got a dinner to make.
Seems like it's a bit of a touchy subject for her. It would probably be best not to press her on it.
What is it, Alphen? Is something the matter?
No, sorry, I'm just realizing that there's so much I don't know. I had no idea that weddings were popular, that Shion was so interested in them. Any of it.
Don't let it get to you. Paying attention to such things is simply not in your nature.
Damn, Dohalim. Are you trying to cheer the poor guy up or rub salt in the wound?
No, it's fine, Law. Dohalim is right. Still, it's something I need to work on. Otherwise, it could get me into real trouble in the future. Maybe someday I'll, find someone I want to marry. If my bride is someone who cares deeply about the wedding ceremony, then that means it should be important to me, too. I don't want to use my own ignorance as an excuse to make my bride-to-be do all the planning. That would be a huge burden for one person to carry, right?
That may be the case, but I'm still not sure what you're getting at.
I just think that it's important to know about weddings. Not only weddings, but marriage in general. I need to learn more about them so I can be prepared. I want to do some research and fill in the gaps in my knowledge. That way I'll have the confidence to help out and make informed decisions when the time comes. But I've never done something like this before. I have no idea where to even begin. So...
You're saying you want us to help you out? You got it! To be honest, I don't really know that much about the subject myself, though.
Thanks, Law.
Oh, speaking of which, you should definitely make sure to ask Shion for help. There's probably nothing about nuptials that she doesn't know.
No. Sorry, but I, want to keep this a secret from her. Because, I'm doing this for my own benefit. So I want to do as much of it as possible on my own, without being a burden on anyone else. I realize I'm asking for some assistance from all of you guys, but I don't want to bother Shion with this. If I did, then I'd end up relying on her too much. I really want to avoid that. So, I want to do this research, but I also want to keep Shion from finding out about it. Can you help me?
Whoa, that was a whole lot of words. But I think I get what you're trying to say. You could have just said you don't want to cause trouble by not knowing anything, because you finally decided you want to marry Shion. Ow!
You need to work on your filter, Law. You don't have to say every thought that pops into your head. You aren't a little kid, are you?
Sorry.
My. Those growing pains can sure pack a wallop.
At any rate, I think I speak for all of us when I say we are sympathetic to your cause. We shall assist in your research and keep it to ourselves. You should go about this endeavor in your own way. If you do not wish to involve Shion at this time, then so be it. But be mindful that should she find out, you'll likely need to explain all of this to her.
The pursuit of knowledge is a noble one. I'm rooting for you, Alphen.
Thanks, all of you. I'm gonna take advantage of this opportunity to gather as much info as I can.
So, Alphen, what kind of information are you after first? What's the most important thing to know about weddings?
Flowers, maybe?
You know, Shion was saying something about bouquets.
What was that, Rinwell?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. I agree, though. Flowers that match the bride are a must.
They are, right? By the way, will our cover be okay? I don't want Shion to know what I'm up to.
We're good. Kisara's on Shion distraction duty, so we should have plenty of time. We'll make sure Shion keeps busy while you're gathering information. That way you should be able to keep it a secret from her.
Thanks. I don't mean to cause trouble for everyone just because of some weird whim of mine.
We don't mind, but be sure to explain everything to Shion at some point. So, you need info on flowers. What do you want to know exactly?
What kind of flowers are best for a wedding? If there are any special kinds you need? That kind of thing. White's the best color, right?
I think you should talk to an expert on the subject. Anyone come to mind?
Well, I don't know how much he knows about flowers, but Mahavar sailed around the world. Maybe somewhere on his travels he picked up some knowledge about flora.
He's taken us out on his ship lots of times, starting with our pursuit of Almadria. He's in Thistleum now, right? I'm pretty sure that's what Dohalim said.
Let's go see if he can help. Mahavar, can we have a minute?
Oh, Alphen! How you been? What's with the serious face?
I've come to glean some of your worldly knowledge. Do you know what kind of flowers are best suited for a wedding ceremony?
Flowers? For a wedding?
Yeah. Do they need to be a special kind? Any practical information you have would be helpful. I think some kind of pretty white flowers would be best.
Whoa there, hold on just a minute. I'm glad you thought of me for advice, but, you know, I'm not really the flower type.
Oh, can't you remember anything? It's super
If the flowers are for a wedding, then why not just use whatever kind of flowers the bride and groom both like?
There's no particular type that I like. Heck, I barely even know the names of any flowers.
Wait, Alphen, it's your... I think in that case, I'll give it some more thought. Maybe... Oh! There's a Calaglian legend that's perfect for this kind of thing.
A legend?
Yeah! They say there's a rare flower that grows only in Calaglia. The legend goes that if you wear it, you'll be happy forever.
Really? I'd never heard that one.
Now that you mention it, I think I read about that flower before.
If you ask the Calaglians, I'm sure they could tell you more.
Then it's probably quickest to ask the Crimson Crows for info.
Thanks, Mahavar. I knew I could count on you.
Same goes for you. I won't press you for details on your plans, but good luck.
Thanks. See you around. Tilsa, I didn't know you'd come back here.
Yeah, I switch off between here and Pelegion. What's with you, Alphen? You in some kind of trouble?
No, not exactly. I'm looking for a certain flower. I heard...
A flower that what? It sounds like crazy.
It's supposed to be rare and only grows in Calaglia. You haven't heard of it?
Rare, huh? It could be that one flower. You know, the white one that grows in the Iglia wastes.
Oh, that one. I've certainly never seen it anywhere else, but I didn't know it had that kind of legend attached to it. So why do you need this flower that makes you...
I'm, doing some research on wedding ceremonies. I don't know anything about them, so I thought I'd start by looking into bouquets. In my research, I heard about a perfect flower that grows in Calaglia, so I decided to track it down.
I see. Wedding ceremonies, huh? If you're looking into that kind of thing, I assume you...
You've got your reasons, right, Alphen? I wish nothing but the best for you. However, the area where that flower grows has been full of Zeugles recently. They may have trampled all the flowers.
Guess we'll just have to thank you for all the info.
Hang on, why are Tilsa and...
You figure it out. You think maybe he wants the flowers to make a bouquet?
You mean Alphen? You planning on making someone special the happiest woman in the world?
Wait a minute, I'm simply trying to learn more about weddings.
You traitor! I'm supposed to be the first, then it's your turn!
No, you're misunderstanding. It's really not like that.
If we're jumping to conclusions, then just ignore that ignoramus and go off to find the flowers.
Thanks.
Wait, Alphen!
They really are beautiful flowers, but they've all been trampled, like we feared.
There are a few that aren't harmed. So these are the flowers that can make you happy. Got it. Learned something new.
It was nice to see the real thing. Since we took care of the Zeugles that trampled them, they should grow back soon.
You're right. If someone wants them for a wedding bouquet, they'll probably be able to pick some here. Though it may take a while for enough to bloom for a whole bouquet. Something wrong with...
It's nothing. I just had a...
Lonely?
I was imagining your wedding. Your bride might be someone very close to me. A dear friend. This was just a thought, remember? But if it is someone like that, I'd naturally be overjoyed for two people I love, but at the same time, I'd probably feel a little like I was losing my closest friend.
Rinwell.
Alphen, if it does turn out that way, you have to promise me you'll take care of her forever. Look at me. I can't even picture it without welling up.
Rinwell, I haven't made any decisions about my future. So you should put thoughts like that out of your head. But you really care about that friend of yours, don't you? I'm sure if this friend heard what you just told me, she'd be very happy. I feel like I should thank you. Thanks, Rinwell.
You're welcome. I'm sorry for wasting your time with my crazy thoughts.
No, it's okay.
Oh, and I had another idea. When a bride throws the bouquet, I always thought that was unfair. Maybe you can do something about that. Like, give one flower to each person or something.
Isn't throwing the bouquet part of the fun? If you hand out flowers instead, then won't some people be disappointed?
You may be right. Maybe there's some other way. What do you think, Hootle? Hootle and I will talk it over. If we come up with something good, then maybe it'll take off.
The Snake Eyes. What are they doing here? And those masks.
Wait.
Almost no response, just like the people in Niez. It must be the mask.
Most likely. The Snake Eyes want Renins in power again. Normally they'd have attacked us or called for backup by now.
And the masks are powerful enough to pacify even them. What has Nazamil started?
I don't know, but we don't have enough information to speculate. I see what looks to be a mausoleum. Not a bad place to use as a base.
Let's hope Nazamil is there too.
Nazamil, now! Hurry up and kill him now!
The great and terrible Water Lord relying on the strength of another? How utterly pathetic.
What the hell have I been keeping you for all this time? Do something, Nazamil! Now!
Someone who clings to others' strength is not qualified to wield power or reap its benefits. Die.
It is just for the strong to dominate over those who are weaker. Being different is meaningless in the face of sheer power. And yet, the one who taught me that still died in the end. The truth is that people will always doubt, hate, and reject anything that's different, including me.
This place, is this where they make those masks?
The people wearing them seem different from everyone we've seen so far.
Shion, wait!
Do you see us?
Yes. What can I do for you?
She got through.
What are you all doing here? What are you trying to accomplish?
We maintain this facility to mass produce and manage suppressors. Our goal, of course, is world peace.
Suppressors. That must be the proper name for those masks. So, it's a tool to subdue the wearer's will.
Wearing one makes you a doll, an empty shell. That's their idea of peace?
That is only the initial stage. Interference from the wearer's will creates conflict with the suppressor that must be compensated for.
Eventually, the mind is calmed, and a harmony is reached between the two. Then everyone becomes the same.
What do you mean, the same?
We mean that we all share the same values, the same thoughts and ideas as the reigning visage.
Our minds are calm. We have no conflicts.
In other words, everyone wearing one of those things just does what they're told?
This is wrong. Controlling minds? Forcing compliance? You can't call that peace!
You've all got to wear those things and obey the reigning visage's orders, right? That's...
There is no need to worry, for we have located the Keystone.
The Keystone?
The facility that controls all of the many mausoleums throughout the world.
You found the Mausoleum's control center? But how?
By interfacing directly with the Keystone, the bearer of the reigning visage is able to harmonize even with distant suppressors.
The world will be joined as one. All differences will cease to be.
Alphen.
Alphen? Are you the one called Alphen?
So what if I am?
Nazamil has been expecting you. She waits further within this facility. You may proceed.
We keep having to travel through all these caves and buildings. It's making me lose track of where we are.
True. But at least we get to do it without wearing those masks.
Speaking of masks, those Cal Basel guys didn't make them from scratch, did they?
Probably not. I've seen them at other mausoleums.
I'm sure it's another work of the Helganquil. They've been manipulating us in various ways. I suppose it was one of those attempts.
But this place was the stronghold of the Snake Eyes, wasn't it? I wonder why they didn't try to use the masks.
If Nazamil has the same power as a sovereign, maybe she was able to use that power to activate the masks.
It was fortunate the Snake Eyes couldn't use them.
In the end, their entire group ended up getting taken over by those masks, huh?
Perhaps that's why Nazamil was able to form Cal Basel in such a short period of time.
But for what? What is she trying to do? They talk about bringing peace, but what they're doing is the exact opposite. There's no way they can bring about peace like this. And Nazamil should know that.
Pretty dreary place. No decorations or anything. Is this Nazamil's room?
They say that a room is a reflection of its inhabitant.
Then, what does this say about her?
From what everyone said, she's supposedly the leader of this group. But this seems like...
This room. Once, back when I lived on Lenegis, my old room looked a lot like this one. It doesn't contain anything beyond the basic necessities. It's just a place to sleep.
Are these... us?
I wonder if Nazamil drew them.
What's this? Everyone in the Forbidden Zone, and my father who sent me there, all they cared about was my power. I thought that if I did what they wanted, they would accept me.
But I was wrong. Because I have Dahnan blood. Because I possess all 6 elements. Because I was sent back from the Forbidden Zone. Because I'm different. I'm not Renan. I'm not Dahnan either. And it was all my fault. It was my fault I was different. I always believed that. I believed there was nothing I could do. But again, I was wrong.
It wasn't my fault. I finally understand that. And I know what I have to do.
Nazamil.
Because she was treated so horribly for her differences, she thinks she can solve her problems by using those masks to make everyone the same.
But why? She knew we accepted her, and she was so happy to be with us. So how could she...
No matter how hard her life has been, it is no excuse to manipulate people's hearts. We have to stop her. We can't let her do this.
You all came.
Nazamil. Is it true you're trying to forcibly alter the wills of everyone in the world with those masks?
If you mean the suppressors, then yes.
Come on! You sure the Helganquil aren't forcing you to do this or something? That's it, right?
Sorry, but no. They are asleep. I merely looked in on their thoughts. That's how I found out about the suppressors and about the mausoleums.
So you're able to read minds? I see. So that's how she learned of the Keystone.
You can't get rid of everything that's different by compelling everyone to think like you.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm making their minds all the same. Same as mine. I like all of you more than I can say. If everybody has my thoughts, they'll automatically like you too.
You want them to like us?
So you're trying to brainwash everyone in the world because you want to do us a favor?
For years, I have put up with their hatred. I could bear it if it were just for me. But I can't stand the thought of my friends being hated. Not my best friends. The first friends that I've ever had. I will not let anyone hurt you.
You don't have to do this now. Come on!
It'll be done soon. Don't worry, Alphen. I just sent out orders from the Keystone to have suppressors put on everyone.
What? You can't. What you're trying to do here, controlling people with these masks of yours, it's tyranny!
I wanted to make you happy.
Nazamil, please, stop this. Come back with us.
No way. Why would you say something like that?
Nazamil, listen.
I'm doing all this for you. You're supposed to be my friends. Why are you throwing it back in my face?
Nazamil!
I get it. It's because I was useless, wasn't I? Why do you despise me?
Of course I don't hate you.
I have an idea. All I have to do is put my thoughts in your heads as well. Then we'll be the same.
Nazamil!
I'll try to make it quick. If everyone has a suppressor, everyone will be the same. Then they'll like me again. Then they'll be happy again.
No, Nazamil. You're wrong.
It's okay. Soon we'll all be the same.
Holy Land!
First strike! Dragon form!
Burning
Crumble! Here I come! Tectonic punch! Burning strike! Eternal devastation! Double demon fang! Swallow dance!
Explosion!
Glacial spear! Here's the evil!
Be still!
Not in your dreams!
Talon ready and rare!
Flipping dragon! Radiant one!
Now you see what I can.
Now I'm in the groove!
Raging
Sonic thrust! Swallow blade!
Explosion!
Rising water!
This one's mine!
Here I come! Crumble!
Hold still. I can't get your suppressor on.
No way I'm putting one of those things on!
Then I'll have to make you.
Is she serious? Thanks so much!
Not today!
Raging cascade!
Here's a healing arc!
Swallow dance!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
I'm on it!
Freezing storm!
I'm on it!
Here comes!
Soaring Alpha!
Let's get you all tucked away!
Stay down.
Gravitas field! Illuminate the dark! By the power of
Pierce through!
without a
Pierce through! Talon hurricane! Swallow dance!
Water! Here's my
Double demon fang!
I'll heal you all!
Shattering pieces!
Healing
Attack
circle!
time! Orochi's fury!
Pull myself
I'm on it!
together!
No further! I'm on a roll now! Demon hit time! Rising inferno punch!
I'm out of ammo!
Not today!
Rolling snap!
Now I can let loose! Talon storm! You're mine!
Why do they reject me? Why?
Inferno punch!
Confiscated! Here,
He's dead! Rising water!
This is the power of all 6 elements.
She's as strong as a lord. No, stronger.
What do we do? I don't see a way out of this without hurting her.
Nazamil, please, stop this! We're your friends, aren't we? Gale, vanish without a trace!
Away! Rock split!
Explosion!
Not today!
Denied! In a bind?
Freeze laser!
My attacks aren't getting past her barrier.
It must consume energy to stop our attacks. Each blow's gotta be chipping away at it.
We'll have to keep wearing it down.
Right. Then it looks like this will be a battle of endurance.
Won't be easy, but it's our only shot.
Be still!
Healing circle! Hold on to your arm.
There you go.
Here I come!
Feel like me again.
Cyan instant!
Crumble! Orochi's Fury!
Searing flame!
Not today!
Lightning blitz! By the power of the
Wyvern!
Finish without a trace!
Inferno Punch! Lunar Rondo! River!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Glacial spear! Here's evil!
Dragon
Freeze
Force!
laser!
Now I'm in the
Lightning
groove!
condemned! Glacial spear! Here's evil! Whoa! Light and dark astral energy manifested as one?
Is she combining multiple elements of astral energy into her attacks?
Yeah, I think she is. I've never seen or heard of anything like it before now.
Indeed. The danger is all too clear.
Nazumi, did you push your astral arts too far?
It's too much stress on her body.
Please, you've got to stop this recklessness!
Try this!
Blending Flash!
I'm on a roll now!
This one's all mine!
Blazing Blade! Lunar Rondo! Not today!
Stop this, Nazamiel. Why? Why would you interfere?
What you're trying to do is tyranny! Listen to me!
I knew you hated me.
Nazamiel!
Double Demon Fang!
I can by the power of flame! Finish without a trace! Air
Force Flash!
I'm ready!
Mirage!
Stay still.
Void Flash!
Radiant Peel!
Here, let me help.
It's too much!
You require a hand.
Go! Vanquish darkness!
Shattering the pieces!
Divine strength!
Not today!
Light Ranger! Healing circle!
I'm on it! In a bind?
I'm
just getting
Need to pull myself together.
Everyone does. Anyone who gets to know me runs away. They tell me that it's because I'm different. I'm not normal. I'm not Danny. I'm not normal. I'm not anyone's friend. I'm not anyone's friend.
Nazamiel!
Freeze Lancer! Heal! Here's a healing art! The first aid!
Dragon Swarm!
Raging Cascade! Here I go! I'll heal you all! Weak now!
Double Demon Fang!
Healing circle!
Now I can let
Where
loose!
that came from?
Prepare to be sealed! In a bind?
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Swallow Blade! Not today!
First aid! Ready to go! Where are you going? Wind
Blazing
Astral Energy!
Vacuum Blade!
Radiant Blade!
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Watch
Wind
this!
Astral
Destruction!
Energy! Power of Christ!
Double Demon Fang!
Here, Light Astral Energy! Here I
Be
go!
still!
There you are!
I'm gonna need
I'll
more
heal you
than
all!
Double Demon Fang!
Healing circle!
Okay, here I go!
Glacial spear! Here's evil! Stay! Let me
Demon
do
Fang!
that! Freeze Lancer! Everyone hates me! Everyone! I can't take anymore!
The blazing sword?
It's blazing!
All of it! Make it all go away!
I'm not done!
Shuffling Flash! Finish without a trace!
Flash! You're my... It's done!
Explosion!
What is this? I don't understand. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I thought you were my friends. I don't know what to do. I don't want to be alone again. I don't. I can't. I'm despicable. Yes. I should just disappear.
No, Nazamil, don't do it! Nazamil. Wait! Nazamil.
We couldn't stop her.
We're not done yet. Let's follow her through that teleporter.
It's no good. It won't activate. It must be locked from the other side.
What's gotten into her? She said she was going to put masks on us, but then she put one on herself and fled.
She reminded me of the people back in Niez.
The one she put on is the reigning visage, the thing that supposedly controls the other masks. But if that's the case, maybe it alters the mind of whoever wears it as well.
So she used it on herself? Damn it. Why couldn't I explain better? She must think all of us are against her now.
Calm down, Alphen. It isn't over yet.
That's right. We have to go after her.
Sure, but we don't even know where she went.
Judging by what she said recently, it's likely she went to the Keystone. The only problem is finding out where that is.
No, wait. The coordinates she used are still saved here. If we can enter these into another teleporter, then...
You're a genius! So all we need to do is head to another teleporter, right?
Yes. Assuming we're lucky enough to find one that isn't already connected somewhere.
Regardless, I think we should go back to Niez first. What Nazamil said before has me worried.
She said she'd send our orders. You're right. We should check it out.
No one's doing anything. They're all just standing there.
I don't understand. Nazamil didn't order her puppets to attack?
Or maybe it just hasn't started yet.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
It wasn't supposed to be like this. I'm sorry.
Wait! What?
I'm sorry. I thought it would make you happy. I'm sorry.
What is going on?
Hey, there's Bayfon.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Are they all being manipulated by the masks? The suppressors?
Nazamiel?
Huh?
Wait. If Beifan is like this, then do you think the inn is okay?
Let's go see.
What is going on with these people?
I'm glad they're not attacking us. But why do they keep apologizing? Even the Renans are all wearing masks.
They couldn't fight back with their astral arts?
It is not easy to attack one's compatriots, even if they're no longer acting under their own will.
At this rate, there might not be anyone left not wearing a mask.
And Nazamiel plans to do this to the entire world?
I hope the inn hasn't been compromised.
With Beifan like that, who knows what's happened?
They've gotten in. We're done for.
No, look, we're not wearing those masks.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought for sure.
I'm relieved to see some people are still safe. Can you tell us anything about what happened here?
Those masked weirdos out front went berserk all of a sudden and tried to force their way in here. Beifan said he would lure them away and left us.
So you've been hiding here. Renans and Danans, all hunkered down together.
They didn't hesitate to let me in when I feared for my life.
This lady saved me with her astral arts. I never thought I'd see everyone working together like this.
That young man said the masked people went berserk.
Right. Except Nazamiel said she'd already sent out orders before we got to her.
Okay, but if that's what initiated the attack, then why have they stopped and gone docile now? And when they talked, it
was Nazamiel's consciousness. You said so yourself, didn't you, Alphen?
That does fit with what Nazamiel was saying before. She was changing people's minds to make them the same as her.
And now, she's wearing a mask, and must be in the same state as the people outside. Assuming the reigning visage has the same effects on the wearer as the suppressors, what would happen if she were to interface with the Keystone?
The purpose of connecting to the Keystone was to send orders. But if Nazamiel is also under the control of a suppressor, maybe everyone outside has gone quiet because they've become the same as Nazamiel is right now.
But if that's the case, then what was up with all that stuff they said?
I suppose they must have been Nazamiel's true feelings. I don't know how it all works, but that has to be it.
all of those masked people we saw kept apologizing to us. If those were actually Nazamiel's thoughts, then...
We have to help her. We have to find a way to show her that we aren't mad at her.
But if we want to get to the Keystone, we have to find a teleporter. Oh!
A Dawn Lake!
That's right. There's a teleporter there.
We have the coordinates we need. Let's go before...
Wait. If we're right about what's going on, then it may mean that we'll have to face Nazamiel. Before we finally head out, we'll need to make sure we're all prepared for that possibility.
She's right. We can't afford to fail.
There's something I can't figure out. Assuming that the Keystone is putting the people in those masks in the same state of mind as Nazamiel right now, how did Nazamiel become like that?
It was because she put on the mask, right?
Yes. However, when Cal Basel first showed up in Niez, Nazamiel was wearing the mask.
But then when we saw her after that, she wasn't wearing it anymore. Could that mean she wasn't being controlled by it at first?
Perhaps the mind control function is something that can be shut off. At least with Nazamiel's mask. The reigning visage.
That would mean Nazamil went to the trouble of turning that function on before putting on the mask again.
I don't get it. If we were simply in the way, there was no need for her to do that after we defeated her.
We couldn't have been in the way. She said she's doing all of this for us, didn't she?
She also said we're her friends.
That may be so, but Nazamil still attacked us when we tried to stop her.
It seemed like she wasn't listening to what we were saying. It was like we were talking past each other.
We're still overlooking something. Whatever it was that drove Nazamil to the point of fighting us. Even before she gave up and erased herself. If we want to help her, we need to find out what that is before we see her again. I think we're ready. Let's all rest up today. Then tomorrow, we'll head out to confront Nazamil.
I wonder what she's doing right now.
She's still under the mask's control. It is possible that she can't see or feel anything.
Even so, her heart is crying out. And I think it's my fault that it is.
Your fault? How do you figure?
I've been thinking about it nonstop. When we had to fight Nazamil, where did I go wrong? Nazamil tried to take over people's minds, to control them. That is wrong. There's no excuse for it. But in the end, ultimately, she did it for us.
Yeah, she did say that.
She had no place where she belonged. To her, it must have seemed like the rest of the world didn't even exist. So when she joined us, it was like we became her entire world.
We were her first friends, so when we rejected her too...
It meant Nazamil lost her whole world. That's why she was so devastated that she tried to erase her own mind.
From the beginning, all she wanted was to earn our approval. And I flat out rejected her. Because I didn't understand. I was so focused on rebuking her actions that I couldn't empathize with her.
Let's show her we're sorry. Then we can hold hands with her, like we did before.
I'm sure the charm will help us reconnect.
Shouldn't you get some sleep?
In theory, yes. But I knew you were off by yourself somewhere, lost in thought.
Can't hide anything from you, can I? I'm sorry. No, I guess I should say thank you.
Thanks for what, exactly?
For letting me drag you into this life of non-stop travel. For staying with me for all this time. For everything. I've been called a hero, a destroyer, and things even worse than that. But you stayed with me, Shion.
Even right now, as you're thanking me, Nazamil is all you can think about, right?
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. That's just who you are, Alphen. But the truth of the matter is, that's why I'm here. If you weren't such a caring person, that wouldn't be the case.
Shion.
And besides, you're not the only one who's worried about Nazamil. I couldn't sleep either. When I look at her, I see myself. Saddled with a fate she never wanted. Treated like an outsider by everybody. Alone. You know that pain. Really, I think that we all do. Every one of us has scars like Nazamiel's. You're the one who saved me, Alphen. And along the way, I think we've all managed to save each other. That's why I want to help Nazamiel however I possibly can. I want her to feel like she's not alone anymore.
Yeah. Listen. There's something that I've been wanting to tell you. I think I'm ready to say it. Now that I'm prepared to move forward. Xion, would...
Now's not the time.
What?
Not while we still have more important things to do.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Try not to look so worried. I'm not going anywhere, okay? Is that all right?
You're always 5 steps ahead of me. All right. Did everybody get enough rest?
Let's get moving. Nazamiel is waiting for us.
Let's show her she has friends who care about her.
And put an end to this chaos once and for all.
That's right! Then we can have a tasty meal together.
I guess that means I'll have to put all of my cooking skills to work, then.
It's time. We're bringing her back, no matter what.
All right, let's get back to gathering info on wedding ceremonies. You and Rinwell looked into flowers, right? So what's next on the docket?
I'm thinking food should be next. The food at Kagari's wedding was really amazing.
That's so. Hey, didn't I hear something real similar from Xion? Oh, that was close. I almost let something slip.
I don't know anything about that. I just have an interest in wedding foods. What should be served, how it should be prepared, stuff like that. I just want to learn.
True, you can't just serve anything you want that tastes good. If you served hot dogs at a wedding, people would riot.
Yeah, wedding food should be a treat for the guests. So I'm sure Danans and Renans will each prefer different things.
Let's start by looking into the rent.
Yeah, I agree. We can begin by asking Dohalim.
Sorry. Dohalim's on Xion distraction. I'm doing my best to keep her in the dark too, so we've got to be sure she doesn't overhear us.
I see. In that case, maybe Dohalim's friends Avakir and Faria can help us out.
Those two that were on Lenegis. They're over in Pelagian now, right? Yeah, that's a good place to start. Let's go see them and see what they have to...
I know it's sudden, but Dohalim's busy, so we were hoping the two of you could tell us a bit about Renan customs.
I'm surprised you'd come to us, but we'd be happy to help out a friend of Do's. Huh, I didn't know weddings were popular here. They're a custom that goes way back on Rena.
What kind of food do you serve at Renan weddings?
Let's see, for the guests... Oh, you've got to have a huge cake.
The bride and groom cut the cake together in front of all the guests, then feed each other a slice.
They feed each other? I'd be too embarrassed to do something like that.
Wait, Alphen, are you, asking about weddings to prepare for your... In that case, you've got to make sure your partner has a say. But I guess that would be tough if you want to make it a surprise.
No. I'm just curious, so I'm doing some research. I'm not keeping this a secret because I want to surprise someone. I'm just not familiar with the customs and want to learn.
I see. Seeking knowledge on subjects out of your wheelhouse is a noble pursuit.
You've taught us a lot. Thank you.
Now that we've learned about Renin customs, why don't we ask...
Sure, but who should we ask? I guess we could...
Sounds like a plan!
Weddings? I don't even know what that is, let alone what kind of food you should serve. Calaglio was poor, and we couldn't even afford to think about stuff like that when we were slaves.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I've heard of weddings. They're ceremonies for people that are getting married, right?
Married, you say? Alphen, you thinking of settling down?
It's more that I haven't thought about it enough, so I want to prepare a little for when the time comes.
I was all prepared to take a parental role and give you my blessing, but you're not tying the knot? You know, Alphen, you really haven't changed at all.
Maybe not. There's still a lot I don't know. So much I have to learn.
So if Doc doesn't know anything, what now? I can't think of anyone else who might know about weddings.
Do you know anyone who's done that marriage ceremony? If you do, maybe you could ask them.
Oh, right! We do know one couple.
Kagari and Notio. Of course, we attended their wedding, and theirs is the one that set off this whole wedding craze. They're the perfect pair for us to talk to.
Then our next destination is set. I'm sure they'll have all kinds of useful information.
Seems like everything's settled here, then.
Good luck, Alphen!
Oh my, hello.
Both of you, actually. Can we ask...
Of course. It would be our pleasure. Our wedding ceremony is one of my most important memories with my beloved Kagari. Ask us anything.
What should we talk about first? How about the day I decided to marry my sweet Notio?
Sorry. Maybe we can get to that later. For now, I want to know about the food.
See, I'm currently gathering information on food that's served at weddings. What kinds of dishes guests will enjoy, that kind of thing. You two have experience, so I was hoping you could share your insights.
Of course. We'd be happy to. Our ceremony was very simple, but we did it our way.
We didn't worry too much about Dahnan or Renin traditions. We decided to do whatever made us happy.
It's the thought that counts, after all. I think you should prepare whatever the couple wants to eat, or something they want their guests to eat.
The thought that counts. Taking care of your guests, you mean? Thank you. That's helpful.
Oh, and we prepared dishes with ingredients that are said to be auspicious.
Since everyone came all the way just for us, we wanted our guests to feel happy too.
Everyone who attended seemed to enjoy it, so I recommend doing the same.
But gathering everything was quite an ordeal. Remember, Notio? We were only able to serve what we did through sheer luck.
What do you mean by sheer luck?
The merchant we talked to said it was a miracle he got everything, and that he'd never be able to manage it again.
Wow, it's that much trouble. And it may be tough to procure those kinds of ingredients. If that's the case, we should try to gather everything ourselves and see what we can do.
You want to gather things now?
Yeah, I want to make sure I know how to get what I need.
Okay. You sure put your all into things you're serious about, huh, Alphen?
I appreciate your help, Law. So, what kinds of auspicious ingredients should we go after?
Sea bream is a high-class fish with an elegant taste, So it's often seen in celebratory meals and...
They also said something about lemons bringing good luck. I don't know why, but they said it'll keep you from catching a cold.
Where I'm from, we eat rat pig meat on special occasions. It's supposed to be good for your health.
Sounds like certain ingredients carry special meaning. We'll see what we can scrounge out.